Hello Virgo, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have a Knight of Cups. This might be a Cancer person in your life. I feel like somebody's rushing in with something for you. We're going to put this into some context. This could be someone with a very kind of surprise gesture toward you. Let's see what we've got. Oh dear. Yeah, we've got a Knight of Swords. Are there two? There could be perhaps two people that are kind of coming in, or you know what I'm kind of feeling with the Knight of Swords is that this is some emotional gesture, a gesture of love, an offering of devotion, an act of affection, and this is you kind of being very intellectual about it. Someone gives you, for instance, someone gives you some flowers, like a bouquet of flowers, and you look at it and say, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. I can't plant. Can I plant them? It's like you look at it kind of in a very practical way. And that's really making me kind of laugh. Spirit is showing me someone bringing you a bouquet of flowers. And I don't know now if is there an older male energy in your life that's passed? Because I feel like they maybe are the last ones that gave you flowers, right? Something like that. Let's keep going with the cards and see where we end up. Okay, yeah, now we've got some Emperor energy. We got an Ace of Pentacles, the Fool card, okay, and a Five of Cups, but a Nine of Cups, and a Queen of Pentacles, and the Art or Temperance card, and a Princess of Swords. I feel like the Princess of Swords is definitely you. And it's kind of like we're receiving this act of love, and we're trying to like smile and kind of act like we know why and what it's for, and we're trying to accept it. But there's still that part of you that's just like, I can't use this. Like, this isn't going to really do anything for me. There's no practical benefit to this. I feel like you are one of those people that would rather get a gift of something practical, even if it's just like a gift card somewhere, or some money for groceries, or some tools, or some art supplies, or something for the house, or something that it feels very utilitarian to me. But I feel like we're battling that. We're dealing with that a little bit. We're trying to open ourselves up to that kind of experience of love and pleasure and excitement, and just for its own sake. Not wondering, okay, how can I use this for something? You know what I mean? And with the Emperor energy here, I wonder if there is an older male energy in your life that is still rather significant. I feel like it's someone that has passed, but I feel as if they're still with you, and I feel like it is the person like with the bouquet of flowers. Like, and you don't have to answer this, but who is the one that gave you the bouquet of flowers? The last person to give you flowers. Yeah, something significant with that, because Spirit keeps showing me someone kind of with flowers, and I don't know what that's about. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we are just going to... Whoa, look what came out there. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. We got some volunteer cards, and you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it, but it's the Lover's card. But what else? Oh, an 8. I feel like love and romance is not really on your mind right now. That you're thinking of life in very practical terms. We've got an Ace of Pentacles in the beginning position, right? So this is, to me, it feels like a real opportunity for you to build something and succeed in something and further your financial success, your career success, your very practical life. You know, and I feel like this is a seed, right? You don't go to the store and buy flower seeds because you're thinking, I can't eat those. You know, it's not going to grow into anything that I can cook and eat. You're someone that likes to grow edible plants. You know, things that you can harvest and cook with and share and all of. Do you have a community garden, or did you when the weather's nice, or when that sort of thing's in season? I feel like Spirit's showing me a lot of people kind of coming in and out of a garden and like doing some work, and then they're leaving and kind of greeting other people as they come in and as they go and stuff. So I'm getting a sense of a community garden with you. Yeah. But the real, let's take a quick look around. Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana. We also got the Lover's card as some Major Arcana. We don't have any fire, which is kind of interesting. A little bit here with the Emperor, and a little bit with this Sagittarius, the Art or Temperance card here, and a little bit of water here and here, and here. We've got our air, of course, and we've got our earth. So we don't really have an overabundance of any particular thing. And that, again, to me, it's kind of this idea of, we want to keep things in balance. I don't want to get off balance by too much of this kind of stuff. And this is really a surprise gesture, like I said, a surprise moment, something unexpected that is a gesture, that is an act of love or affection. Yeah. Has no real practical value, at least directly, right? And so this is kind of looked at as one of those very, very distracting moments. It's like someone throws a surprise birthday party for you or something, and you're just like, no, I've got stuff to do. I don't have time to go and just hang out, And so to me, it kind of feels that we're rejecting this a little bit. This is heart and mind, right? This is maybe a heart that does kind of, like it, but then there's this mind that says, I don't have time for that. I've got too much to do. There's no practical value in that. Yeah. And I wonder if this is because of, I think the Eight of Cups has a lot to do with that. I think there was a time in your life where you kind of said, hey, maybe this isn't meant for me. I think you experienced something that was disappointing, to say the least. Maybe worse than that. I don't want to speculate. But I feel that there is a sinking of the heart, right? And I think when that happened, maybe it was the loss of a loved one, okay? I feel when that happened, you kind of, something switched in you. You turned your mind to a more practical point of view. And with the I think this Eight of Cups, this is one of the volunteer cards. I think this was here to kind of clarify some of this water energy. Because I feel like we were walking away from that sort of stuff. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with those cups there, but we don't want to get too close to them because they're going to spill again. Because we're going to get a Five of Cups again. We're going to get disappointed. We're going to get hurt or burned, or we're going to lose them again. So it's kind of this idea that we don't want to get close to anyone else because we don't want to lose them, right? And that makes perfect sense to me. It really, really does. Perfect sense. But at the same time, we've got this lover's energy coming into it. And it's it's something we're going to have to try to incorporate, I think. Let's look at these two major arcana cards, Fool and the Emperor. Very different, right? Very different. Let's do the Emperor first. The Emperor is very strict, very very stern, very authoritative, very confident, not sentimental, And sometimes I say, well, no one wants an emperor that cries all the time, right? No one wants a boss that you feel is too weak to lead, right? And I'm not saying that crying is a sign of weakness. In fact, I think it's the opposite. I cry all the time. I feel like this is something that you're trying to build inside of yourself, yeah? There's this kind of stern energy that just says, I don't need any of this watery stuff. It's not useful to me. What is useful is me making decisions, taking charge, doing the practical things, building this life, having this success, and kind of growing whatever this practical, whether it's the garden or the career or whatever. So with this card, it's almost like there's no room for any of this is a very fiery card, right? No room for any water in there. And I think that we're stoking this fire within ourselves, and the hotter the fire can burn, the further away water has to be, right? We're burning so hot that we're evaporating any water that comes our way, right? But what we see by the end of this thing is that we're learning how to incorporate both, right? The water and the fire. Because I think this fire, this is really, let's say we've got a stove and we've got a kettle on top of the stove with some water in there. You've got to regulate the fire, otherwise the water's going to boil over. It's going to evaporate. And I think that's kind of what your intention is, right? You're trying to be keep the water away. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that there is a resistance in you, and it does feel like there's this heat, and that's kind of anytime water gets close, it just evaporates, right? So it's kind of, and I think it's a defense mechanism. Honestly, I think we're doing that intentionally to kind of keep the water from overflowing and maybe extinguishing the fire, being so overwhelmed by all this water that it puts our fire out. So rather than that, we're being so hot and so strict, really, to keep the water away. It's like it's one extreme or the other, yeah. But the Fool here. The Fool is this energy that's really open to anything. So it's kind of like part of us, when this gesture comes in, when this kind of opportunity presents itself, and this could literally be someone is expressing their feelings for you, or there's some sort of attraction there, or some sort of meeting with someone, or there's something that opens up or tries to open up your heart again, okay? There is part of us that really wants to take that risk and to take that leap. Yeah. And that could be why we get this Lover's card here. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean romance or even like one-on-one personal love, okay? Because I'm kind of feeling now that some of this water energy isn't just opening our hearts to another person. I don't want to love again because I don't want to lose that person again, right? I mean, that seems that for some of you, that's the way it is. But I also feel this strange thing of we don't want to follow our heart. We don't want to offer our gift to the world because it could fail, because it could be rejected, right? We're looking at the Knight of Cups as somebody else coming in and offering their heart to you. But I think for some of you, this is you offering your gift to the world, or this is you kind of going after your soul desires, going after your holy grail. And I almost feel like we have closed off this possibility because we don't want to get hurt. Yeah. I think either way, there was an experience that led us to this very strict emperor kind of energy. And this very practical energy. And it's almost like you don't want to follow your bliss because the last time you tried, you got hurt. Yeah. You don't want to pursue your happiness, follow your bliss. The Fool is that part of you that kind of does, but sees it as either a complete success, absolute best thing you could have ever done, or the absolute worst thing. It's the Fool that either falls off the cliff or floats up into the air, and it seems like those are the only two options. And so it's kind of like, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to err on the side of caution here. And I'm going to stay put because, the thought of flying and soaring into the air and this wild and crazy success, yeah, it sounds good, but the thought of falling to my death sounds worse. Yeah. It's worse than the other alternative is good. So that's kind of why I feel we're walking away from, and I think really this is walking away from our passion, walking away from our soul, our sense of purpose. Yeah, I'm not even thinking this is much to do with romance or anything anymore. We do have the Lover's card, but the Lover's card isn't always romance. In fact, very infrequently is it romance, just like the Death card. Very infrequently does it mean actual death. This card very rarely means a romantic partnership. But it is a choice to unite with that which we love. Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, an idea, a career, a passion project, or whatever it is. I feel like this choice is being presented to you again. I feel like Spirit is bringing this choice to you one more time. And we're stuck between, kind of a rock and a hard place here. Spirit's telling me to ask, what's the joke with the boat? There's some inside joke about a boat or about being on the water in a boat. I don't know if somebody maybe fell out of a boat, or if it's somebody said they were buying a boat and everyone got excited, but they just came home with a little, like a toy or something as like a joke. I don't know if that's it. These details come in as ways of validating the energy that we're in, lightening the mood sometimes, and then offering synchronicities and confirmations to some of you out there. And if those details don't resonate with you, that's fine. Just leave them for the next person. Yeah. Something about a boat. We're going to go to the path of the serpent now, and as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really does help out the channel, and I appreciate that. All right. So your general energy now, the Nine of Cups. This is happiness. This is pursuing happiness. This is following your bliss. This is fulfillment on the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative planes. This is kind of what you're opening yourself up to. So I wonder now if there is this Fool energy that really is strong and prominent in your life right now. And then when this opportunity comes in and you kind of have to mentally, psychically figure out how to deal with this opportunity, whether it is a gesture, somebody else coming in with something for you, or if this is an opportunity for you to now pursue your bliss and your passion, I wonder if you're really kind of giving some serious thought to just going for it. Yeah, just going for it. I kind of feel like that's it when we see the Nine of Cups here. It kind of tells me that it's going to pay off. But you have to choose. The Lover's card's all about choice. You have to choose to take this risk. You're either going to soar up to the heavens or you're going to crash and burn. And that's the risk. Right? That's the risk. I feel like if you make this choice, it's going to work out very, very well. I mean, a Nine of Cups, general energy. I think the Nine of Cups, I think this card here is the result of all of this. But you have to make the choice to take that leap, to go after that opportunity, to accept this Knight of Cups in whatever form this takes. Yeah. Spirit's also telling me to tell you to drink more water. I don't know if do you have a water bottle that has been sitting there for a while and needs to be filled up? I'm seeing there's a full water, like a sports bottle, in the fridge. And I think maybe you filled it up with the intention of drinking one every day, but it's still there in the fridge, right? Something like that. Anyway, and a lot of this idea of kind of allowing the water in, right? Allowing it to flow. I think it's literal, but I think it's also, meant to be symbolic, of course. The Queen of Pentacles now is an interesting card for the environment. This is you, I think, kind of stubbornly accepting the water. Because this card, it's the Queen of Pentacles. It's water of earth. So this is you understanding that accepting this kind of water energy, whether it is a sense of purpose, of destiny, if it is love and romance and affection or healing or whatever it is, accepting that into your life is only going to make this Ace of Pentacles even greater. Right? Whatever this practical course of life that you're on, adding this water energy is only going to make it better. You have to water the soil, And I think that this is you really thinking about that and feeling that and understanding that. This is the card that likes to look at the past. You see they're looking out at that long and winding road behind them. And it's, I think, you trying to distill all of your past experiences into present wisdom. You're going to take this big jump, this big risk, this big leap. You might as well try to learn the lessons of the past so that we can bring this wisdom function in a practical way, right? Practical way into the future with you, right? So we're not doomed to experience the same kind of loss again that we did. We're learning from the past and we're taking that with us to the future to work toward a different outcome, to unfold this Ace of Pentacles into the most terrific and successful life that you can imagine, which does incorporate all of this water. Now, the hardest thing for you to do is to temper yourself, because this is, it's the Temperance card. This is the right recipe of fire and water. Too much water extinguishes the fire. Too much fire evaporates the water. So you have to be self-possessed, self-directed, confident, assertive, fiery, Emperor energy. And maybe the mystery card will be the Empress card. We've got to be yielding and accepting and embracing of this this water energy as well. And I think that is the recipe for success. A self-directed ambition combined with a sense of purpose and destiny, unstoppable. And even in a relationship too, there's a practical kind of we make practical sense together. But then there's also love and passion and spiritual connection and depth there. That's an unstoppable, marriage or partnership. In anything, it doesn't have to be romantic even. It is business. It is life, Fire and water together. But this is the obstacle. That's the card that is kind of, this is almost the summit. This is kind of where we really want to get to. And I see the next step for you is to start opening your mind up to it. And the Princess of Swords is saying, I'm still a little bit defensive. I'm still cautious. I'm still skeptical. I'm going to let you into my house, but I'm going to have my little sword here next to me the whole time while we're talking. It's that kind of energy. And that's okay. let some of the energy in, but still be cautious and still be ready to kind of to force it to leave, to throw it out. Yeah. I want to look at the mystery card, though. I'm curious if that's the Empress. I hope it is. If it is the Empress, I'm going to eat my hat. I'm not wearing a hat, so that's okay. It could be, gosh, I mean, it could be fire, and it could be anything. I really want the Empress card. I don't know that we're there yet, though. You know what I mean? I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of this fiery resistance, which is okay. We had a lot of water here. It feels like this is a sudden kind of overwhelming rush of water. We might push back a little bit. We might have a little bit of fire energy here, okay? If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Oh, it's a Two of Swords. Okay. That's good. This is us kind of saying, I'm going to try not to just reflexively banish that water energy. I'm going to try to not have this kind of automatic response where I just reject it and say no. It's kind of mental. It's like you don't even think about it. It's just kind of an automatic, pushing it away. I feel like this card is kind of us saying, okay, I'll try not to do that. I'll try to let a little bit of it in. I'm still going to be real cautious, real defensive, but I'll let some of it in. And I'll try to not just, again, mentally reject it, trying to tap into the intuition, trying to feel the divine energy of it, trying to really give it a chance, right? A fair and honest chance here. Because this Two of Swords, it's not about the intellectual response. This is saying don't have that kind of instant mental reaction to it. Just let it seep in and see how it feels and see what the spiritual flavor of it is. Yeah. This is a card that tries to transcend the mental activity. You either push or pull, You either reject it or you accept it, right? And this is kind of saying let's just suspend judgment for now, and let's tap into that higher perception, that intuition. Yeah. Well, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link that should be up here, or there's one down in the video description. New readings for Virgo every Tuesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. But I'm here every day. Just come on back, see me tomorrow. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.